Hello, everyone, and welcome. We're going to give a little bit of time to let folks show up because it is 1 p.m. on the dot, and we know usually it'll take a couple minutes for everyone to arrive. We are anticipating a few uh, sellers from our managed book joining us today. As a reminder, the session today is exclusively available to sellers who are part of our sort of managed group of sellers who we work with quite closely. Most of you would have contacts as sort of account managers effectively at eBay, who you might have been speaking with about this tool that we're going to be talking about today, or sort of connect with more broadly about concerns or questions or opportunities that you might have with eBay. Just going to give a minute or two before we dive in. But just as some housekeeping, if you do have any questions, there's the Q&A section. I don't expect we're going to be flooded in the chat, so you can also throw it in the chat if you'd prefer. But the Q&A section does allow me to more easily track what questions you might have. We set aside an hour for the webinar today. Because we're only diving into one issue, it will likely be a little bit quicker. We'll talk a little bit about the seller marketing engine tools that are available in addition to coded coupons. Um, but we expect probably about a 20-minute presentation that I'll run through, and then we'll give some time to questions, and then we can enjoy the long weekend. I think we probably have enough people here, so I can kick off with some introductions. I think I might have spoken with a few of the sellers who are here, but if you haven't met me yet, my name is Luke Bradley. I am the head of product operations and experience at eBay Canada. So I'm responsible for assisting in the rollout of some of our key seller features, particularly when it comes to listing tools, tools to assist with promotions, and then some of our shipping tools as well. And while we're here, again, this is going to be a pretty small, intimate group of our managed sellers. If you do have questions relating to, the eBay experience as a seller, feel free to throw them in the chat, even if they aren't connected to coded coupons. We'd be happy to talk about that as well. I've been with eBay for 5 years, traditionally as a seller engagement manager, where I led a lot of webinars just like this, kind of talking through best practices for sellers. Understand that most of you are would be, within sort of a larger category of seller, and are probably looking for more scalable practices than we would usually talk about when we meet with our sellers. So we wanted to get some time directly with some of our managed book. Again, if you do have any questions at any point, feel free to throw them in the chat or in the Q&A section. We expect this webinar to go about 20 minutes plus whatever time is needed for a Q&A. I will be happy to answer any questions live. If there are questions that I notice that I'm unable to answer, I will have your contact information and I'll follow up as soon as I can. Or if you have sort of a request for maybe a more specific question in your particular circumstances as a seller, let me know, and we can connect on this issue or on whatever issues you might have. So I'm just going to share my screen. Let me know if there are any issues seeing my screen. I'm going to run through a quick overview of what coded coupons are, how they compare to some of the other marketing tools that are available on the eBay Canada experience. We'll talk about some of, I don't want to describe them as shortcomings, but limitations to the platform, to the feature right now that hopefully we'll be able to address, but that are important to remember as a seller when you're starting to design your first coupon campaigns. I know we have uh, a few P&A sellers here as well, so appreciate that. If you do want to share what is especially valuable and what we can maybe get into a little bit, if you can share it either in the chat or the Q&A, where the majority of your sales go, Canada or the US, that would be really helpful because of course, uh, uh, the coded coupons feature is sort of limited based on what site you're launching these coupons are on. We can get into that in a moment. So, just as an overview, coded coupons are part of a suite of marketing tools outside of like promoted listings, outside of things like promoted listings standard, promoted listings advanced. We call them just sort of the seller marketing engine. And it's a whole suite of tools that are designed to give our sellers, particularly those with store subscriptions, the opportunity to more directly engage with their own audiences on eBay, whether that be your followers, recent buyers or just people browsing for items like yours in general. So again, outside of like paid promotions like promoted listings standard or promoted listings advanced, we're talking about tools like coded coupons or markdown sales. I imagine most of you would be familiar with markdown sales events. We'll go over the distinction between coded coupons and those. Um, but they are coded coupons are the newest tool. They have been available in the US for some time. If you've listed on eBay.com, if you manage a sort of US site experience as well, you're probably familiar with the tool at this point. They have been around for a while. So we're really excited to launch them here in Canada for Canadian buyers and sellers. Because we have seen tremendous success in the markets where it has launched both in driving sales, driving growth, but in helping create more of a direct connection with your customer base and encouraging repeat customers in offering sort of unique or magical. We love to use the word magical at eBay, magical customer experiences, um, which we can get into in depth shortly here. So that suite of tools would include things like store newsletters. If you haven't used them, something I would really encourage you to explore, especially as larger sellers, you would have a non-trivial number of buyers who are following your store. Tap into that. Tap into that resource. Those are people who have already expressed enough of an interest that they're following your store. Store newsletters are a great way to sort of connect with them, feature certain items, feature markdown sales or coupon codes if you so desire. And then you also have things like buyer groups, designing groups to connect with directly with coupon codes, etc., based on how recently they last purchased from you, whether they were a repeat buyer, etc., etc. Those are all sort of the means of contacting, and then we have the sort of meat that you're contacting them with, which are those markdown sales or our coded coupons. Those are really the foundation of that internal marketing tool when we talk about the seller marketing engine. So just to distinguish between coded coupons and markdown sales, coded coupons, shocker, are going to be coupons rather than a simple broad markdown available across the eBay site experience. So coded coupons are going to be targeted. You have the ability to choose between a public or private campaign. I'll show you the difference in how they surface, whether you choose a public coupon or a private coupon. And so you can design coupon campaigns to sort of meet specific needs. There's a lot of opportunities for customization. So you can do a buy one, get one free. You can just do a flat percentage off, a flat dollar figure. There's a lot more ability to be flexible and to meet certain needs. If you're driving, you want to drive clearance of a certain item, you have, an item that you're trying to clear out. There's a different strategy involved in that than if you're trying for example, to encourage repeat buyers. So coded coupons give you the ability to design a campaign that meets sort of the needs that you're looking for in that particular moment. One of the advantages as well that we see here, and we will get into this momentarily here, it also surfaces on search in a different way, either on search or on your store experience. They will show up in that red text. We'll talk a little bit about the way those coupons show up shortly. That's opposed to markdown sales, which, as you can see here, the distinction is that you're not applying the buyer isn't applying a coupon at checkout. They're seeing a marked down price, and then that's the listed price moving forward. So it's very broad in scope. Any buyer who's able to purchase your items. So if you are making your items available in Canada and the U.S., buyers in Canada and the U.S. would be able to see it. They're applied without the seller needed or the buyer needing to activate a coupon code. And they're always going to be visible in search results pages. That's not, again, it's not necessarily true of coded coupons. They're not always going to be visible. There are best practices to make sure that they are visible in the search results page or to maximize your likelihood of having them visible in a buyer's search results. But we'll also walk through the other places that a coded coupon surfaces when you choose a public coupon. So that's the big distinction. Coded coupons are a bit more targeted, whereas markdown sales are just broader in scope. Important thing to note when you're creating a coded coupon campaign, um, coded coupons cannot be stacked on top of other coupons. However, they can be stacked on top of markdown sales. So if you are already running a markdown sales event and you are also making the item that you've marked down eligible for a coded coupon, then they would be able to sort of get that double discount. So always want to be mindful of that if you are running multiple campaigns at the same time to make sure that your pricing is accurate. We can walk through the design of coupons a little bit. I'll give a bit of an example. We can do a direct tutorial as well. I'll just share my screen and walk through it. But they give you, as I mentioned, a more flexible discount platform to whether you want to incentivize certain buyer behavior, if you want to encourage repeat customers or sort of reward them, or simply feature like very specific products. So one of the first things that you're going to choose when you design a coupon is the type of coupon that you're going to be offering. So typically that's going to be either a percentage off, usually a percentage off, or a dollar amount off. We do have via this tool the ability to have buy one get one or volume based incentives or spend based incentives. So if a buyer purchases more than $100 worth of items, for instance, they can knock $20 off, um, or saving a certain amount for every dollar spent, for every say $20 spent. Because we don't necessarily have shipping promotions, this is maybe a way I might encourage you to think about this as a means of offsetting those shipping promotions on the eBay Canada site. Something that's available in the US, something that we would like to get in Canada soon. But coded coupons we prioritize because they sort of provide an indirect way of offering that shipping incentive if you desire, because you can base it on the spend. Understanding, your shipping, even if you use calculated shipping, typically might be around, say, $18 or $20, whether that's calculated or flat rate shipping. You can now create a campaign that allows them to save $20 if they spend 100. So offers a little bit of flexibility to in effect run those shipping based coupons. Uh, so always want to find the format that's going to work for your items or your strategy, what you're looking to do in this particular campaign. Obviously, buy three, get one free offers super common for tires rather than just 25% off on four. A buy three, get one free might be a more interesting example. Volume-based discounts, if you're trying to move a lot of product, trying to sell en masse, implementing a volume-based discounts, or if you want a really simple coupon that you're actually physically printing out and including in your shipping to customers, there's the percentage off or dollar off coupons. Those are usually what we would recommend if you're reaching out directly to repeat buyers. So just to distinguish, because this is going to be probably the first thing that you're considering, certainly the first thing that you look at when you're designing a coupon campaign is private versus public. Um, Private coupons are only going to be visible to those customers that you actively share the code with. So as opposed to a public coupon, which when you push that live, anybody who's eligible to receive the coupon, so if I push it live on eBay Canada, it'll be available to ebay.ca buyers. Anybody who's eligible for that will be able to see that item, whether they're browsing in the search results page, or they're on your store visiting the sales tab, or they're just on that listing. Those are the three ways that a public coupon will surface. It'll also automatically be applied if I'm an eligible buyer looking at your coupon. In the checkout process, I don't have to copy and paste the coupon itself. It will be applied automatically as I enter it. Private coupons are not going to work that way. They're not going to be visible immediately on the view item page. They're not going to be visible in the search results page or on your store. It will be only those customers with whom you share the code. So uh, whether you want to promote it via a buyer group, a store newsletter, or, and this is probably much more common and the best practice, your own marketing activity. So whether that's on social, if you're promoting your own uh, uh, sales on social, on those channels, your own newsletters if you're promoting there, or what we see most often is people printing out the codes for their buyers to actually include it physically uh, in the uh, uh, in the package. So encouraging repeat purchases, building a rapport with buyers, encouraging them to follow your store potentially. Something we really encourage, and we actually have tools to make that printing process really easy that will allow them to scan a QR code to access the coupon as well. In those cases, obviously, the buyers are going to need to copy, paste, or type the code unless they're using that QR code feature. And so it's particularly useful when you're trying to reward particular customer behavior or target specific customers, whereas public coupons are great for driving interest, driving urgency, and increasing the visibility of your items. So where there are limits on a public coupon is going to be while you're designing it on how many redemptions can a buyer have, you know, sort of natural limitations on a coupon. How many times can a single buyer redeem it? What's the maximum discount that a buyer can receive? Usually, maximums are going to be anywhere between $75 to $100, depending on the nature of the discount, how long that discount is going to last, and the total coupon budget. And once it kind of reaches that budget, it will turn off the coupon automatically. Those are all part of public coupons. Those can help govern their availability, but other than that, they're going to be available to anyone on the sites on which you've created them. So when we're thinking about public or private coupons or any coded coupons, there's a few simple steps. First, you want to consider the strategy and the goals of running this coupon campaign. Are you trying to move product and just drive sales velocity with increased visibility, increased urgency among some of the browsers? You trying to participate in a sales event, right? Maybe there's some big retail moments, whether that's sort of a shoulder season for P&A, spring tires season, uh, or in the fall when people are starting to switch over. Um, are you trying to highlight those moments, or are you trying to reward repeat buyers? Are you trying to build more of a rapport with your eBay purchasers? Um, Based on that, you're going to choose the format, the type of coupon, and the discount size, scale, all of the criteria for your coupon. You're going to select your inventory for that coupon. We'll walk through, rules-based versus manually entering uh, the inventory that's going to be eligible for your coupon. And then your duration, your limits, your budget. Those are mostly crucial, especially for those public events. As a reminder, because we have had a couple people join, coded coupons can be stacked with markdown sales. They're just not going to be able to stack with other coded coupons or other coupons. So something always to bear in mind. And then you want to share your coupon, even if it's a public coupon. It's obviously something that you can share on your social, store newsletters, all of the mechanisms that you can share a private coupon with. Public coupons are obviously viable there as well. So I'm going to quickly stop to just give you an overview of how these coupons surface and what the actual process looks like of adding a coded coupon. So if you do have any questions, as a reminder, throw them in the Q&A, throw them in the chat. I'll try to monitor as best I can. Again, if I can't answer any questions, I will be sure to get back to you. We have a pretty intimate group here of a couple dozen people. So definitely enough that I can just reach out directly if there are any questions or you want to know more about the specifics of a particular feature. So if we're going to create our own coupon campaign, obviously we're going to go first to Seller Hub to the marketing tab. Let me check out our summary there. I'm going to go to create coupon, and this will immediately take us to the coupon page. First thing, as I mentioned, is what's the visibility? Is this going to be a public or private coupon? So in this case, we're going to say we're going to make a public coupon for all four of the items that I currently have listed because I've done pretty well recently. We're going to pick an extra percentage off just to keep it really simple. Again, if we wanted to create a coupon campaign, even if you had uh, a single listing that this applied to with just multiple items, like a large quantity, we can always do volume-based discounts for a single listing. Like there is no minimum number of listings that this would apply to. In this case, we're just going to keep it simple. We're going to do an extra percentage off at 20, obviously. We're going to be fairly generous. Set our duration. Um, One thing that we should mention here, if you are working directly with account managers and want to always let them know when you're running coded coupons. Now we can't guarantee, we need to be strategic in our resourcing for eBay internal external marketing. So we aren't always able to work directly to promote coupons, but it's always helpful for us to know when you're running coupons, ways that we can coordinate what you're hoping to accomplish with your coupons. If you're looking at the year ahead, a couple months, the quarter ahead, reach out to your account manager and talk about some of the seller funded coupon campaigns that you'd like to run. See what ways we can support if there are any ways available, or just see if we have any guidance based on what we know is coming over the next quarter. Are there big opportunities to sort of maximize the impact of a coupon campaign that you're running? Encourage you to really engage with your account managers to see what ways you can strategize your coupon budget to maximize their impact. In this case, say we're designing one for Canada Day and Canada Day only. I'll try not to get my Junes and Julys mixed up. We end up a second. We can set our time there. And then we can set our code. Now, one thing I want to make sure to emphasize here, when we create a coupon on ebay.ca, it's only going to be visible to Canadian buyers scrolling on ebay.ca. If we want to create a coupon on the CAFR site experience, so the French Canadian experience, we would just have to go back to the seller hub, switch to French, and then go through the same process. When we create a coupon code, it has to be unique. We'll suggest a bunch of coupon codes. So in this case, maybe you'd want to mention it as moving day for CAFR. We're going to set the coupon code as Canada Day 20. So again, if you are setting up a coupon that is effectively the same in every way, just on the French Canadian site or on any other site, it would just have to be unique from the coupon that you've created on .ca or vice versa. They always have to be unique. Usually the offer name can be whatever the eBay AI generated name is. Really suggest taking a look at some of the coupon limits so that we're not going way out of budget. The default maximum savings are always going to be $100. You can adjust them as you will. And then you can set a maximum number of redemptions, and you can set your own budget for your coupon if you want to be extra secure. So we're all done all that. We're going to select our items. Now, again, we can do it manually, very simply, just adding one item at a time, or we can do it based on rules. And the criteria there is fairly simple. If you have store categories set up, if you've already individually divided your store into particular categories, you can simply add those categories, which is fairly simple. Or you can do it by the eBay categories that your listings are already in at the listing level. So that's available by category. You can do it by item condition, or you can do it by price range. What I would really recommend if you're going to include items based on rules is that you always view the items. And from this view, you'll be able to exclude listings manually if you want. Always take a moment to review just to make sure that you're not catching any items that you don't want to include in the coupon. It's always worth a quick overview. Otherwise, you can always just manually select. The view is going to be very similar to what the exclusions look like. We're going to create a coupon for those shoes. And that campaign is now scheduled. So fairly straightforward use of the tool. We do have some Q&A. Does the limit stop the coupon use even if the coupon duration isn't over? For example, if after 1 hour you reached your $1,000 limit, the coupon wouldn't be active for the rest of the day. Yeah, if you've the limit will govern. Your budget will govern over the time frame that you've set. That's correct. Great. So I'm going to quickly show you a bit about how those coupons are going to surface and maybe provide some best practices to maximize the effectiveness of those coupon campaigns that you're designing. So we've used Puma, who are currently running a 40% and two campaigns, one 40% off and one 60% off. Now, this is exclusively for public coupons. These are not going to surface this way when you design a private coupon. That's only going to be when you print a coupon code or share it directly with your buyers that it's going to surface that way. For public coupons, it will automatically surface in the three ways I'm showing here. So they're always going to be visible on the eligible item page. So if there's an item that you've included in that coupon, as you can see in the middle here, extra 40% off with the code PUMA40 off, it's always going to be visible there, and it will always automatically apply when an eligible buyer is applying it to their at checkout. And it will always be visible on your store. Your store is now going to have a sale tab where people will see, you can see on the bottom here, an overview of all of your sales. So you can check that out directly on coupon on the Puma page because it also shows the 60% off coupons as well. Now, visibility on the search results page, which you can see on the very top here, that's going to vary. And you can probably understand why. If we were to automatically add that little coupon badge to every single listing that uses a coupon, that would create opportunities for people to maybe just pollute the search results page with coupons that are not especially valuable, or to use coupons to bump up listings that maybe don't follow best practices. So we still follow a lot of the best practices that help ensure your listing is going to show up high on search. That's still going to inform whether or not the coupon surfaces. It's a large and complex algorithm that determines that. Most of the time, though, with a sufficiently deep discount, it will show up on the search results page on the item card the way this one has here. So if you want to maximize the possibility that it shows up on the search page, just follow some simple best practices. Most of the sellers here, if you're in the managed book, you're running businesses as large as yours, you're probably already exercising sort of good listing practices. More than 3 or 4 photos at a minimum is what we would recommend that can help in search. Watermarks in your photos, for instance, can negatively impact your visibility in search, specifically when you want to show up on Google Shopping, but not always. And then best practices in terms of your title, using as many of those characters as possible without polluting it with unnecessary keyboard characters, things like that. And then best practices when it comes to your shipping and return policies, and of course your top rated status. The discount depth is the one thing on a coupon that will really help determine whether or not it surfaces on the search results page. Again, if it's just a 2% off or something like that, we don't want to dilute the value of the coupons that you are making by having the ability to sort of pollute the search results page with kind of meaningless coupons just to get that extra visibility on your item. So a normally size, 15% discount will usually 10% even will usually show up on the search results page. Provided your listing also follows all those best practices. It's not something we can guarantee. Again, it follows pretty complex algorithms. It's intended to help ensure there's sort of a consistent and sort of hygienic buyer experience. But generally a good practice that will ensure that your public coupon is surfacing on search as well. Again, I would note big distinction between this and markdown sales, though. When we're talking about an extra 40% off, that is not going to be reflected on search in the listed price, nor is it reflected on the view item page in the listed price, as opposed to markdown sales, where we would actually see the after sale price. So important to distinguish between the two there. Once again, we're just going to jump here. And we can see here Puma's cleats with these extra 40% off are visible in the search page with the extra 40% off coupon. If we click through, again, it's visible there. If we go to the official Puma store, they have a sales tab where you're going to see all of the unique codes. These are automatically, if you're creating a public coupon, these are automatically going to show up on your store. And they're going to be divided as they've been divided here based on the items in each campaign. So if you have multiple campaigns, those campaigns will all be visible. Other thing to note, when you create a campaign, the terms and conditions are going to be applied automatically from eBay. You don't edit or have to change the terms and conditions. They're going to be available. So when a buyer sees either on this page, they want to visit the terms and conditions, or on the view item page where they can see all eligible items and terms, we've also created an automated browsing experience for all of the items that are included within that coupon. So you can also, in addition to sending just the coupon itself, you can send out links to the page with the browsing experience for all of the items where that coupon can be applied. So a really valuable tool there to improve sort of your store browsing experience. Yet another reason, if you haven't sort of gone through the process of designing a really nice looking and engaging store, eBay store, something I would definitely recommend doing. It's going to help drive up your followers and become sort of a useful browse experience in and of itself. From here, again, it will provide a really basic overview of the expiration date, everything that you need to supply the buyer with, and of course, the terms and conditions. So all of that is going to be automatically surfaced. The only thing you need to really consider is the design of the coupon itself. The surfacing afterwards will just be based on, again, high quality listing and eBay's work on the back end to make it visible on the view item and on your store tab. So just going to wrap up the presentation here with a few important notes, most of which I've already mentioned, but I really want to reiterate. First being, these coded coupons are going to be limited to the buyers on the site in which you launch them. So most of you are listing on ebay.ca. If you're listing on ebay.ca, a coupon that you create on ebay.ca will not necessarily be visible to users who are on cafr.ebay.ca. So basically on the French experience, the French Canadian site. If you want to create a coupon for CAFR, just go to Seller Hub, switch the language to French, and create that same coupon by also tweaking the unique code, the name that you give it, to make it available to CAFR buyers visiting your items as well. Um, Note they're limited to domestic sales. So when we're talking about $1 off, it's always going to be in Canadian. When you're listing on eBay.ca, would love to get some international interoperability at one point, something we're going to be looking for our sellers, and would love to get feedback on those sorts of features as well from you. A reminder, coupons will stack with markdown sales events that you already have running, but they won't stack with other coupons. Um, Public coupons are not always going to surface on the search results page. Really want to emphasize, listing best practices, which I'm sure most of you already follow, but then the depth of the discount and things like that, which will impact whether or not it's visible to the buyer. And then you want to offer if you want to offer the coupon to buyers in your packaging in the order itself, you can actually do it from your orders page. There's a print coupon option for you to print out a really basic coupon with the code that you've already set and a QR code that you can include in the order there. So a really easy way to maybe encourage repeat buyers and create a really positive buyer experience. So with that, I think we have a couple other questions that I will address here. As a reminder, if you do have questions, not just about coded coupons, frankly, about anything in the eBay product or operational experience that you've been wondering about, whether that's shipping or marketing, uh, please let me know and I'll be happy to answer you. Again, if it's something that I can't answer right now, it's something I would be happy to follow up on directly with you afterwards. This applies to coupons listed on eBay.ca versus eBay.com, right? Yes, yeah. So coupons created on eBay.ca will be limited to your domestic purchases. Um, uh, so the more recent coded coupons launched, coded coupons have been a tool available on the US site experience on eBay.com for some time now. The more recent launches for those domestic sales listed on eBay.ca. Excellent. Well, it looks like we don't have any other questions. Again, big reminder, this whole suite of tools is designed to really help our sellers sort of directly reach out and contact buyers on the platform themselves without necessarily having to always rely too much on either external sources or to work directly with us all the time. If you are thinking about coupon campaigns, if you're planning out your quarter, your month, your year ahead, always engage your account managers, let them know what you're doing, or solicit their feedback to see what else might be going on around that time, and how we can sort of maximize our timing for those coupons to make sure that they're successful. Uh, really hope that you take advantage of the new marketing tool. If you do have any questions, you can reach out to either your account managers or myself, and we'll be happy to walk you through any questions about the experience that you might have or feedback about the experience, because this is something that we are hoping to expand on and improve in the months and years to come. Uh, with that, I think we can wrap up this webinar session. Again, if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Really appreciate your time and enjoy your long weekend.